we've kind of jumped straight into the weeds here, but that's
Yes.
fine. We can zoom back out again afterwards. The other tricky concept is novelty,
Yes.
because everybody feels their baby's the most beautiful, and of course everybody, particularly in kind of like a business context, feels that nobody ever thought of this before. But perhaps while we're in the weeds, before we step back out, you could talk us through novelty and what you think about for that.
Well, you'd be surprised about the baby is the most beautiful point.
Yeah.
What we find is that actually a lot of technical folks, a lot of engineers and software developers, quite often underrate what they do in pattern terms. They would see what they do as applying typical techniques in their field to a slightly different problem, and they would see that as unexciting and
Yeah.
undeserving of a patent grant. And
Yeah.
actually, a lot of the time they're wrong about that. The law is less restrictive than they perceive it to be. But coming back to your question, novelty is actually straightforward in a lot of ways. Novelty is simply it's absolute. It's spot the difference. Is there a difference between your invention and what has come before? If there is a difference, then you are novel. The difficulty is, of course, is that there are a lot of things that have come before, and it's about conceivably anything out there that's exactly the same that someone has been working on and has made public. If it is the same as yours, if there are no differences, or no differences to a certain level of abstraction anyway, then at that level of abstraction, you will not be able to get a patent granted for it.